it's a bit of an honor to be here, and it's kind of makes me a little bit humble as well. At least in the beginning, when I guess when you start to work, you don't really think about that much. You think about this production and how to make this as good as possible. But I remember when we were starting talking about this and preparing for it, it's difficult to not have in mind the tradition and to have in mind that this was the first place this opera was realized for the first time. So and I felt it was kind of important to have this thought in our production as well.
I was having a production in Vienna in summer 2018 or 2019, and I came to Prague as a tourist, and I came to this Estates Theatre and said, wow, I would like to conduct here once, because it's so impressive that Mozart was conducting here. He gave debut to some of his most important works. When I entered for the first time the theatre, there's some perfume of history, some smell of history really, and this is very impressive. And I was thinking, of course, oh wow, Mozart was here. But now, as you mentioned that, the moment I do this music, I conduct this piece, I'm not thinking about it at all. I'm so concentrated on the music. It comes later to my mind, maybe after the rehearsal or after the performance, but not at the moment where I make music. So because I'm just into the piece, and I hope he likes it.
Yeah.
Of course, this orchestra has an own Mozart style. And this is a high quality orchestra, and maybe my Mozart style is a little bit different. And it's very interesting if the orchestra is open to these ideas, because I think there are hundreds of possibilities how to make music in a logical way, in a good way. It's not one possibility, there are thousands of possibilities. Let's feel like a member of the audience 250 years ago. And he sat there, and the piece Don Giovanni starts. And maybe he heard Nozze di Figo before, like and like this mumbling. And then Mozart surprises the audience with this atomic explosion of D minor with repeated chords, which is just an atomic explosion. He wants to shock the people. And I think therefore it's not enough to have just the beautiful Mozart. Yeah. He's sometimes rude, he's brutal, because this is an opera which is about rape, which is about murder. He can be beautiful, of course, but it's sometimes dancing rhythms, it's grooves, Mozart. There's so many things, and I try to develop and try to concentrate on this style as well.
It's kind of difficult to try to surprise the audience with such a well-known story, but I think for me, and I guess for you also in the music, is trying to, okay, let's forget about this traditional thing. Let's try to make this music feel alive here, and let's try to make this story feel alive now, without thinking too much about how thousands of people have done it before us.
Tu c'hai la bocca dolce più che il miele.
Tá cesta s tým stotožnením bola dlhšia. Človek predsa len postava Giovanniho je veľmi komplexná. A správne ju pochopiť, vlastne také ideálne nejaké vyloženie tej postavy ani podľa môjho názoru neexistuje. Na to strašne veľa pohľadov. A človek sa v tom tak nejak snažil sa to pitvať. A potom prišiel na to, že vlastne Don Giovanni je vo svojej podstate nešťastný, nenaplnený človek, ktorý hľadá to pravé, ten pravý zmysel života, tú pravú lásku a snaží sa to nejak, nevie to nájsť a snaží sa to nájsť v tých pôžitkoch. Veľmi. Som nervózny samozrejme, ale teším sa.